US accounting, US tax, and India accounting, India tax. I don't know how I passed my chartered accountancy. I don't think I can take it again. Right? That's one of the most difficult exams folks will know about that. I still think they made a mistake, but that's for another day. Next slide. Right? Disclaimer, I get sued by a lot of attorneys, so I want to make sure this is only an informational session. It's not advice, not guidance. You have to consult your local people whenever you're dealing with more complex issues. But I'll do my best to convey to you the importance of compliance. Remember this word, one word, compliance. And I'm thankful to Dr. Abraham. I'm going to be, I'm proposed for the advisory to the IRS. I'm on one of those slots on the tracks where I might be an advisor to the IRS. To fight for our Indian issues and Indian community issues, right? So here's my contact information. Please, I go around the world, so I cannot respond to you within 48 hours. Okay, but I'll do my best. One of my staff people will try to help you out if I don't have the answer. By the way, very difficult to get advice on the phone. During FBAR, I got more than 20 calls a day. 20 calls a day. I cannot figure out your facts, your circumstances, or your pattern. But what I can do for you is give you guidance and tell you where you got to go to manage that. So, moving along, here's some issues. The IRS is restructuring, folks. Don't think they are still in 1920. They have 800 new agents on international issues. From individuals, corporations, everything you want to know. They are restructuring. They know what is going on. I talk to them. I'm not afraid of them. I talk to them. And they ask my advice. They cannot read an Indian account. I'm serious. They cannot read an Indian corporation account. So we'll talk a little about FBAR. It's not gone away. We'll talk about stocks because that's the next hot button. A lot of us have Indian stocks, so I want to be the first one to give you advice and tell you what to do right now. The form is not final, but it's going to come through. The next one, Indo-US tax issues, individual and corporation. And finally, I call it GPS. I try to find my way in the world. You want to get a hold of your total inventory of your assets in this country and in India. Don't look at, you are a worldwide citizen. Think like that. Think you're a US person. You are responsible for worldwide income, period. Think of your property in Mumbai as in being right here in New Jersey, in Eastern New Jersey. Don't walk away. You got to file in India, file in the US. You get credit. You don't have to pay tax twice. Folks, you make a mistake. You just have to file in India, file here. So get your financial house in order. Most of my clients I deal with, I tell them, I will interact with the Indian CPA and I'll interact with the US CPA, and both will respect me because I know both sides. Yes, so get a good accountant in India also. So go ahead. Okay, we finished this. New agents. Hey, there's a whistleblower rule. People don't know this. If I complain about my friend here, I know he's got $10 million. They're going to be sitting on the front row. Yeah. Right? Right? Yeah. So if I complain and the IRS gets him, 30% I pay the person who informed. I get 30% of $10 million. Folks, other people are jealous of our Indian community.
What does FBAR stand for?
Foreign bank account reporting. And look at that. Okay, so move along. 30%, very dangerous rule. So be careful, folks.
Is there a threshold for that?
No threshold. You can have $500 million. If someone complains, if they collect money, only if the IRS collects money, the person who complained gets 30%. So people are jealous of us. They're going to complain. Hey, you've been living in that mansion and I don't have a job in the US. It's going to be a problem. Okay, moving along. Slide 6. Folks, remember these words. We are taxed on worldwide income, period. US citizens and US residents. One more comment. I know all my colleagues here have spoken about immigration. IRS has nothing to do with immigration. IRS has nothing to do with immigration. They don't care if you're illegal in this country. You make money, they want a piece of it. Period. Illegal, they don't care. Immigration status and tax status are two different concepts. So let's not confuse the two. I'm a PIO, I'm an OCI, I don't care what I am. My focus to you is if you are a US resident, we call the word US resident in tax law. You're a resident and you come here and stay here, even if though you came from India, you make money here, you are liable for worldwide income in the United States. Let's focus on that first, right? Moving along. So residency, very different. Be careful of that. And most people trip up on that. So let's take the next one. Okay, FBAR. I'm not going to go through each one. Every Indian I've met, they always have, and not only Indians, in other communities, in Chinese, I've dealt with people from Hong Kong and all over the world. Folks, foreign bank account reporting. Two simple rules. If you have more than $10,000 in a foreign bank account on any day in the given year, if you have 10,001, and you have signature or check signing authority or a checkbook, you can sign. You have to file a form called 90-22.1. Don't worry about it. It's on June 30th of every year. I would say 90% of our folks haven't come forward. Don't think they have gone away. They're fooling ourselves. The IRS went to the banks. Give me the list of all the names of the people who have opened accounts in the US. Right? And I'll show you why. Keep going. So be careful of two important points. If you own more than $10,000 in a foreign bank account, you need to file that form. There's no tax on that account. But if you earn interest, let's say you earn $10 interest, you need to report that interest on the US tax return. Very important. Worldwide income. Remember those words. US residents, worldwide income. If you owe $10, earn $10, you might be better off getting that away.
Yeah.
Closing that account. $10,000 US. Be careful. Right? IRS is asking the banks to submit. 2 weeks ago, look at the Wall Street Journal. The Credit Suisse, give me the list of all the names of folks who opened their account. HSBC, Credit Suisse, all the other banks. I have spoken about FBAR 3 years before they actually hit the fan. 3 years before. But you know what people tell me? Cecil, they're not going to find me. Don't worry about it. My name is different in India. Right? And today I have handled criminal cases, folks. Honest to God, I've seen on one extreme is criminal cases, on the other side they're innocent bystanders. My parents had to be living in India, my father died, my mother still young. I thank them for a lot for making me a character or whatever. But I'll be honest with you, I used to send money in the good old days in 1980. Now I don't because they're here. But we all send money there. We all have ties to the homeland. So just be careful on your transaction. We want to buy a property there, so we send money. Right? So be careful. So we want to be very careful that we file. And folks, let me give you good advice. It's not too late to file now. Clean it up. You don't want someone knocking on your door. Gentlemen in New Jersey, right here. Federal lawsuit, FBI, IRS, and myself all into the. This is not my client. I bailed them out. Bailed them out. 2 mistakes, big mistakes. That was a big case, involving more than $5 million in penalties.
B?
Penalties.
With the B?
Million, have that. Okay? And they knocked on his door in New Jersey, and were about to be taken to jail. Because there was major fraud. Okay? Money goes abroad. And then I had to step in with the major attorneys, with the FBI, with the IRS, with everyone. I resolved that case to their satisfaction on a compromise issue. Folks, don't take this lightly. But the bank was at fault too. We fought the bank. The HSBC told them that this money is not taxable. Quote, unquote. Banks were at fault. I'm not blaming the client. But you know what the HSBC forgot to tell the client? When they are on the hot seat today, that may be taxable in the United States. Why do you exempt from tax in India? Taxable in the United States. No one gave it. And the IRS took the bank to task also. They put 2 in a separate room. They got all the facts and information. You either come clean or you're in trouble. Folks, don't fool around with this. I'll give you the best advice. You've done so well in the US, right? Don't let small things trip you up. You know, we talk about galleon funds, right? IRS were tracking galleon funds 5 years before it actually happened. People don't know that. Don't know that. They were tracking terrorism money. They found he was founding the Tamil Tigers, and that's why they nailed it. It had nothing to do with foreign bank account report. Folks, be careful with international transactions. They are tracking those. Just be careful. Right? Move along. Right? I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to finish this quick. 2 minutes. No, I had the 10 minutes slot. All right, I've got 2 minutes. Now, this is a very important form, 8938. Folks, write this down, 8938. If you own more than 50,000 of stocks individually, or 10,000 or 100,000 as a joint person, joint return, new form of 8938.
Start at total assets.
Stocks and assets. Foreign specified foreign financial assets. And they want a list of all the stocks. Why do you think they're looking for that information? The form is in draft form right now, but I'm sure by the end of the year it's going to get finalized. You will have to fill a new form, 8938, on foreign financial assets. So keep them track. They are looking for dividends. You want for foreign stocks, the value. Look over the value, not the cost, not how much you put in. What's the value of the stock? Okay, be careful about that. So moving along. Okay, three forms you want to keep it. 5471. If you own interest in another company, trust, or in a company, suppose you own a company in India, 50% ownership, you need to file a form 5471. 99% of the people don't know this. I deal for this in a living, for a living. So that's why you need that 5471. Okay, you have foreign interest, you need to file 5471. Second, 3420 inherited. My grandfather died or whatever, I inherited 10 million worth of property. My grandfather wasn't that rich, but let's assume. You need to file that form. The last one is 1116 because you get credit. So what happens if you pay tax in India, tax deduction at source or dividend, you will get that same credit back in the US. People forget that. So if I have paid my tax in India, nothing to fear. Just take that credit. In fact, sometimes we forget to take that credit. But you have to report the income and the tax, and that way you get tax credit. Income is not taxed twice. Folks, remember these words. Income is never taxed twice. You get credit for what you pay in India. Not a problem. Right? Moving along. Okay, get best advice, keep track of all the property stocks. I consider two things. Income producing assets, non-income producing assets. Income producing assets is rent, or interest, or dividends, or anything is income producing assets. And then non-income producing assets is like land. It's just sitting there doing nothing. Non-income producing. Business income, interest in stocks, interest in a company, foreign trust, everything is income producing assets. Remember that. Same definition in US. Okay, need to file it. I advise, file an Indian return. Piece of paper. You know what the US government, they can't read that return because they call me. I know that. They call me. Hey, I don't know what the hell is this. I can't read this return. I don't think they don't call it. They find out. But let me tell you the final point here. So just be careful. I always file for all my clients. Even zero return. Not a problem. Spend $100. It's okay. Because that piece of paper is invaluable for you. You say, hey, US return, Indian return attached, go. Go. So I strongly advise file it, even if it is zero. Move on. Okay? Last one, keep track of your visits. Folks, very important. We forgot that. They're going to track your visits because you could be liable for tax in India and we forget that. Okay? Don't just think that I go to India for 6 months and then I come back and all this. So keep track of your visits because in the previous 7 years, you should have crossed some threshold, then you become an Indian resident or a US resident, depending on that. So you might be liable for tax on the India side also. Move along. And finally this time. No double taxation. There are two methods to exclude. One is you can exclude income, but more people take the tax credit route. So they show all the income and take credit for India. If you pay $50, then you get credit in the US. That is it. You cannot get more credit than what you paid. Okay, that's very simple. Okay, and last one, we got 1 or 2 slides. Okay, I'll skip all this. Okay. Here's the final suggestions before I wrap up. I'm okay with 1 minute. Okay, file taxes in India. Don't be embarrassed to file. No matter how many years, file it. I never have a problem with that. Second, credit is paid for India. Third, bank account, foreign bank account. If you own, either if you get interest, report it on that FBAR form every June. It has nothing to do with taxes. It's filed with the Department of Treasury, not your tax return. Very important. Don't file with your tax return, they'll get confused. Send it to the Department of Treasury. The form is there on the securities, dividend, interest, income. We forget. We all buy Indian securities. We forget about it. Next one, property, land, buildings. We forget. Everyone who came to me during FBAR said, hey, I'm getting rental income. I said, where is it disclosed? India side was done, US side not done. You need worldwide income. Okay? Baha was aware. Rental income, last one, US citizens are taxed on worldwide income. Okay, I will hold off for questions in the interest of time. We're done.